Hi, how you doing? My name is Jimmy Francis. I'm one of the owners here at Infinite Aquarium. And to start this channel off, we're going to give you a quick little tour of our shop and just show you what we're all about. All right, so we'll start with Milo. This is our, we call her like our shop dog. And she's knock trained. She's currently looking for a night crawler, but Milo's about a 4-foot fire eel. You come in, say hi to her. She's very, very social. As you can see, she's coming up. Very, very friendly lady. We love her, and she's kind of like one of our mascots. So we are 100% freshwater. The story is, we started about 5 years ago. We used to be half saltwater and half freshwater, and mid-pandemic, we ended up jumping ship, and I'll kind of show you that as we go. But let's start over here. These are our shrimp tanks, and we carry a ton of neocaridinias, and we have some caridinias from time to time, mainly crystal reds and some stuff like that. But in our area, nano tanks have really taken over, and these little shrimp are just absolutely rad. So we always stock a ton of these, the cherries, the blue dreams, the blue velvets, red pearls. We also sell the moss out of these tanks. We have Riley's right here cruising around, goldback yellows, red securas, Bloody Marys, black secura, snowballs, green Pinocchio, red Pinocchio. So if you're in the market for freshwater shrimp, or you need food or chemicals or anything like that, it's all within the shrimp section over here. And that's right as you walk in. It'll be on the right side. Following down, we have this bank of 10 40-gallon tanks, and we kind of spread a lot of different stuff through here. If you look in here right now, we have chocolate gouramis. Looks like we have some apistogramma. It's a trifasciata in there. And we tend to keep the bigger tetras and bigger rasboras in these tanks. And kind of always changing. There's cories in here, there's plancos in here, pandagaras, harlequin rasboras, Unatis apistos, Buenos Aires tetras, some of the black cories, the Schultz eyes, Poibian rams, and stuff like that. You know, just your basic larger tetras, cories, plancos, stuff, things like that. This is Miss Otis. She's the other mascot of the shop. She's getting a little bit older, and you know, those are her friends over there, but Otis is a cool fish. She's also knock trained. She'll let you pet her if you want to, but as she's getting older, she's kind of losing her vision, so she can be a little bit snappy, but we love Otis, and she's over here by the water. And that's something I want to talk about. We actually, because we used to be a saltwater shop, we actually still sell red sea water, pre-mixed water with RO. We mix it with RO, and we sell RODI water, you know, so we always have this on hand. I know in our area we have a lot of hard water, so we like to offer it. And moving on kind of quickly, this is our bank of tetras, and you know, kind of always rotating, but you know, we try to get as many tetras as we can stock at once. And these are 60-gallon aquariums, and currently there's, I believe, rummy nose tetras, and that's these guys right here, rummy nose with some panda cories, and we'll mix cories in here from time to time. There is some green neons over here, the Carry tetras, the candy cane tetras, cardinal tetras down here, regular neons over here. We just sold out of ember tetras, but this is where the ember tetras go. Diamond head neons and golden neons. So tetra section is always rolling, usually always really well stocked. It was shipment day today, so you know, if you're coming in, you're just looking for some tetras, go to the south side of the shop and you will find them. Following that would be to the soil area. And we tend to carry a lot of different soils. Right now we have a lot of UNS soil in, you know, and if you have any questions or anything, you know, about soil and how to use soil, just come in and talk to us, you know. But kind of the new wave in plant keeping is keeping aquariums with soil. So you know, let's move on to the scape section. So kind of a personal project for me was to try to get as many different rocks as I could fit into this little area, and different types of wood. And currently we have elephant stone, which is a really, really neat rock. We also have river rock, which tends to get picked through. People really like that, especially with nano tanks. Just does a lot of cool shapes, and it's really natural. The Sirius stone. And then below that is large showpieces of spiderwood. the medium pieces of spiderwood to the left of that. Right below that is a laceful rock. A lot of people like to use that with cichlids and, you know, terrariums and things like that. It has a lot of sharp edges, stuff like that. So, show pieces of ghost wood, which is, I believe, some type of manzanita. We always have show pieces of wood, which is, you know, kind of pride myself in that. I worked at a lot of shops where, you know, show pieces just sit around, but I like having them, you know. Right below that would be Pacific wood, which is one of my favorite woods to use. A little bit more gnarly, a little bit darker, has a little bit more tannins. Smaller pieces of ghost wood, even smaller pieces of ghost wood. Traditional Malaysian wood, you know, this is something that's been a standard within our hobby for as long as I've been in it, well over 30 years. And then the small pieces of spider wood. If you come over here, we have slate rock, which is kind of uncommon to find in fish stores. I don't know why, but not a lot of people carry it. And then when you come up here, we have the lava rock. So we have black lava and red lava up here. Right over here is pagoda stone. Really, really cool stone. Has really, really neat striations in it, and those will show up when they're underwater. And by far the most popular stone that we carry is Oko stone. And that's like a, you know, it's almost like a clay, a petrified clay. Has a lot of neat shapes to it, and the best thing about it is it doesn't change the water parameters, so it's pretty inert. Below that, you'll find where we keep our sand. Sand is hard for me to keep stock. I'm getting ready to, once I'm done with this video, I'm gonna bag 300 pounds for the weekend, but generally have the natural sand, like that right there, and then more of gravels, and then like a black sand. So those are the three sands we carry. If you're looking for something else, we can definitely get it. So let's continue on with the tour. We have a 180-gallon display right here. Very, very beautiful tank. Very, very pretty. These are where the geophagus, the redhead tapajos, live. And if you've been here, I'm sure you've seen them. Very, very social fish. They breed from time to time. And then we have our rainbow colony, which is, you know, McCulloch's rainbows, Irian rainbows, Bozemonis, turquoises. But probably my favorite fish in the shop are the giant clown loaches in here. And they're just goofballs. So be sure to check that out when you come through. As you come to our shop, you'll see we do a lot of houseplants. And these really aren't for sale. It's just kind of like my hobby that's poured out into the shop. But, you know, being in business, everything's for sale for the right price. But I hate saying that. But anyways, you'll see a lot of houseplants around the shop. They're just kind of everywhere. So this is kind of a new section that we've been working on. And this is going to end up being more of an Episto Corydoras Placo section. And there's 8 40-gallon breeders here. And you're going to find, you know, mainly like, you know, rams, Pistogramma agassizes, McMasteries, and stuff like that. We literally just flipped this area this week, and we're in the moment of restocking it. So we're going to go this way. Okay, so over here we have the smalls. This would be the live bears, as in like endlers and stuff like that. The small ancestris. Right now we have super red ancestris, calico ancestris, spring dragons, blue-eyed ancestris, and I think we have some pineapple ancestris around the other side. But all these 20s will have small fish. The smaller Rasporas, smaller tetras, some of the minnows, you know, and like this tank, we have the female betas in here, along with the white cloud minnows. Small rainbow fish will be through these tanks. Some of the male betas, there's Praecox rainbows, the pygmy cories, the Habrosus cories, Pygmaeus, Pistatus. Amano shrimp and celestial pearl danios live in here. Stipendon gobies, Raspora maculata, Chili Rasporas, all those will be found on the north end of the shop in the 20 gallons. The 40s over here are kind of going through a change as we're moving fish around. We have a lot of gouramis and barbs in here. You know, some of the twig catfish and some of the other placos and sisters, stuff like that. Geophagus, you know, kind of get the idea. Things that get a little bit bigger. We also keep the Autocinquus and the Siamese algae eaters in here. So panning around, we have this little island that we call Mini Grand Central, and it's an island of 60-gallon aquariums. And this is where you'll find all the platies, You know, the platies are such a cool fish. You get a lot of color, cool behavior, just kind of like a nice community with happy, colorful fish. Easy to breed, people love them. To the right of that will be the swordtails, which are cousins of platies. Get a little bit bigger, kind of get that rad sword if I can get that guy. On his tail, he's got a cool little sword. And swords are something that, you know, it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I really, really like them. Hard to beat the color. And then plus you get a lot of babies. And who doesn't like babies? To the right of that will be mollies. And sailfin mollies, blue mollies, regular mollies. You know, some of the lighter tail mollies like that guy right there. They'll all live in here. Right below that are the angelfish. Have 120 gallons of angelfish. And some of the larger barbs right through here. Working on getting a new display up over here. But when you come over here, you'll see this is where we have all of our guppies. And in our area, guppies have really taken off, and it's kind of not hard to see why. You know, they're just beautiful, beautiful fish. Good for kids, good for adults. If you just want a simple tank with a lot of color, a lot of cool behavior, guppies would be the way to go. You know, and they're pretty cheap, and it's almost like collecting coins or stamps or whatever you're into collecting. You know, you'll find a color that you like. Like right now, the winner for me are these yellow German guppies. I don't know if I can get them to focus in, but just a gorgeous fish. Some of the more higher end betas will be in here too. And then on the other side of that mini Grand Central, we have some of the rainbow fish, the Bozemanys, the Irians, the turquoise. They'll all be in there. We've got a pretty large royal pleco in stock right now. Spotted royal. We have rainbow shiners here, and glass cats, and some of the other rainbows from different orders. And then in here we have the electric blue Jack Dempsey's, electric blue Acaras, zebra angelfish, platinum angelfish, stuff like that. One thing about our shop that you'll learn is we're really big on buying local bred stuff. We try to support the breeders who are out, you know, breeding guppies, live bears, plecos, cories, shrimp, stuff like that. So we're at a point now it's kind of hard to tell what is ordered in and what is local bought, and I'm really proud of that. We have some really, really nice displays around here, you know, so when you're in here, check them out. You make it down here. This is a 105 gallon. It was a reef tank. I have the Monstera growing in the back, and I'll cruise around to the other side of it just to show you what I'm using the overflow box for. But this is like an old growth tank. This was a tank for my house. Very, very pretty tank, a lot of smalls in it. I kind of just have some of the godiads and, yeah, fish I like, some of the guppies, some of the live bears. But I'll come around the side and I'll show you what is kind of filtering it. And that's what that root system in that 60 gallon is actually coming from, that Monstera. And the overflow box for you reefers out there, I've actually used that as a pot. And it's kind of hard to see, but it's full of roots. And that Monstera, this thing gets like 3 hours of natural sunlight, and it's just zapping the whole tank of nitrate. I also use a lot of like pothos and phylos on these tanks to, you know, help control the nitrate. But pretty cool display. And as you walk over here, this is Ryan. It's our shop manager.
What's that?
Ryan's been around for a little bit now, and you know, he's one of the crew, and he's manning the front right now. But you can see we have dry goods here, we have dry goods around the corner. One big thing about our shop is we're not really big in carrying a lot of dry goods. We just carry what we know that we'll use. And it kind of cuts everything out, cuts a lot of the clutter out. But you know, it's nothing wrong if you go to a shop and there's a ton of dry goods. It's just I would have rather had fish tanks and dry goods, and the shop shows that. So one big thing that we've really taken off on, and pretty much mid-pandemic, we jumped ship to making the shop 100% freshwater. And you know, tissue cultures are a huge deal around here. All of our tissue cultures on the plant bays are ADA, and on the plant bay, both sides are full of tissue cultures, and you'll see the other side as I pan back around. But we carry a ton of live plants, potted plants, ton of cryptocorn, because they're just easy, simple, forgiving, and they'll grow for anybody for the most part. You know, into some of the harder stuff, and a lot of the harder stuff would be coming out of the tissue cultures, but there's not to say that there isn't nice stuff in the assorted bins and whatnot. All the fish that you see in these tanks are for sale. I don't know where they're all at right now, but we have Congo tetras and, you know, some of those green tiger barbs like that guy, and Anubias and vowels. And swords. Saw a lot of swords around here. It's kind of cool. Okay, walk around. When you come around here, this is the other owner, Steve. That's his display tank, and this is running CO2, and it's got some angelfish, and he's got a really, really amazing super red ancestors that I pretty much catch every night in the same area. So it looks like he's on a schedule. Really, really cool fish. But what a nice tank. You know, it's just one of our displays, and kind of always needing to be pruned and whatnot, but it just shows success. The other side of what we call Grand Central has tissue cultures, just like I showed you on that one side. But below them, these are all of our local grown plants. And if you're local here, I hope you know by now that we'll buy plants off you. And you know, some of the locals have some really oddball plants that are really cool. And both these two bays are all local grown plants. So we do our best to give a fair price, pay a fair price, and you know, just keep this hobby going. And then over here we have stem plants. And this is something that, you know, it clears out every week, or we restock it every week. 120 gallons of stem plants, always fresh, always nice, pretty clean. So we're doing our best to offer everything we can for the climate tank side. You know, and even as we expand out, we're kind of getting into just regular aquariums. Here's a low boy tank. It's nice. So yeah, so basically that's a tour of the shop, and that's kind of the introduction to the video, or to our channel. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to end up happening here, and we'll probably start buying some video equipment here pretty quick. But one thing I know for sure is I'd like to start shooting videos weekly, and maybe twice a week. And you know, I could use some input on what you guys would like to see, how-tos. You know, I know me, I've been in the industry for over 20 years. So I kind of go back a little ways, and I kind of have some old school train of thought. We have aquariums in stock. We can pretty much get any aquariums you want. So if we're not stocking it, we can definitely get it within about a week, maybe 2. But yeah, so give a shout out. Let me know what you guys would like to see, and we're gonna start working on this channel and trying to make it go somewhere. So thanks for watching, you know, and as we go, we'll introduce more of the players to the shop and just kind of go from there. Anyways, you guys have a great day doing whatever you're doing, and we look forward to seeing you here at Infinite Aquarium.